Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle Desrochers and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Wednesday night segment, or I should say Thursday night. Sorry, one day sort of rolling into the next as we've been off for a little bit. But anyway, welcome to the Thursday night segment of the Outer Realm. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network 105.3 FM from the Gulf Coast, 107.7 FM from beautiful New Orleans. We are fully sponsored by the amazing people over at Folgers Coffee who have been a part of our journey for the last several years. So thank you, Folgers. We couldn't do it without you, nor would we want to. Also, big thank you to Justin Snicker, aka Dr. Snick, the Sonic Surgeon, for the contribution of his time, his music, and his voice for the intro you just heard. He is an award-winning composer of Halloween, horror, sci-fi, and dark wave electronic music, which can be found on all of your favorite music streaming platforms. Also, big thanks to Steve McGinnis, the artist behind our logos here at the show. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. Also specializes in the Halloween and horror genre, but does incredible commission pieces of any type. Now, tonight, we thought it would be fun just to spend New Year's Day with you guys, our chat family, and all of our incredible listeners and viewers. And it's open discussion. Wayne Mallows, of course, is going to be joining me for this. And we're going to talk about New Year's traditions, superstitions, ghostly tales, all kinds of fun stuff. And before we do that, we're just going to check out the chat. I'm glad you guys got started nice and early. Vet Girl, hello, hello. Nice to see you. Oh, Happy New Year to you as well. Kevin, hello, hello. Working my way down. Carol Ann, wasn't that a show and a half today? Always so much fun sitting across from you and just sharing information. Lots of fun. So happy New Year's there. Hello, Patsy. Hello. Hello, hello. Nice to see new faces. And there's me. She returns. Adrian, hello. 2026. I know. It just flew by, didn't it? It went by so quick. My gosh. Wayne and Michelle again. Yes, that's awesome. All right, still making my way, coming down. Who am I missing? If I miss anybody, please put yourself back up there. Hello, Kathy. And there we go. I see Wayne's discussion on Jack the Ripper. Oh, you saw it. Wasn't it great? Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Happy New Year to you too, Mark, all the way from the UK. I always say you're a champ because it's like 2 a.m. for you. Appreciate you being here. My gosh, you guys are just awesome. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Wayne.
I have no sound from you at all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I heard your intro and everything, and I can't hear a thing you're saying.
Really? Can everybody else hear me?
Nothing. I've checked my sound at this end.
Really?
I heard all the music, all the lineup, everything in the pre-show, but I can't hear anything from you.
Can you guys in chat all hear us? Yes.
You can hear me?
I can hear. Yeah, so it's just you who can't hear me. So I'll drop you out, and or just
I don't know. Turn my mic all the way up. I don't know what else to do.
I don't know. Undo it and come back. That's going to be awkward.
Sound? Like I never have a problem with sound ever. It always just comes up automatically.
Everybody can hear both of us, and you can't hear me.
I don't know. I heard you completely, and you can hear me. I'm talking through the mic, so I know you hear me.
Okay. I will drop you. Well, you can't hear me, so I'm gonna
Give
drop
me a
you
second.
out.
Hold on.
We'll have
Take
to
this
drop
off.
him out and
I don't
start
know.
again.
One
I hear
second.
you, but no pictures. Re-enter. Wait. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? I still can't hear you.
Can't
And I've
hear
taken
me.
the headset off. I'm on speaker. I don't hear anything from
Heard
your
you
end.
fine. Okay, I'm going to drop you out and come back in. That's all I can do. Okay. We're going to kick him out, let him come back in. I probably the best way we can do that. Okay, and everybody's got picture. Everybody can hear it. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. We'll wait for him to come back in and get started. So happy New Year. Everybody, you guys all have a good New Year's Eve, good New Year's Day. Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping y'all did. So yes, re-enter Wayne. We're definitely going to try to do that. No video. Kathy, no video for both of us or just for you? You might have to drop out and come back. Oh, okay. Happy New Year.
There we go. I can hear you now.
Okay.
I
Huh?
don't know what happened. I heard the whole intro, everything, and then you came live and it went,
I don't know, but you're back.
I am
You can
back.
hear me, so this is
I
a
can
good
hear
thing.
you. We're all right now.
All right.
Figured.
All is well in the
We just had to
podcasting
start
world.
off the new year like we left the old year,
Wayne and technology
Yep, bring
doesn't
Wayne
always
on,
work
everything
out.
stops.
I know. And Mark, we have you know that we had a mishap with Dexter today. He showed his true colors.
Yeah, the colors were red.
Yes. Yes. Dexter was not happy. He was having a little moment. And, we tried to console him, pick him up. Oh, that went bad for Wayne.
For Wayne, let's
Went
clarify
back
that very well.
for Wayne. Yeah. I know. Dexter just wasn't having any loving. I'll tell you that much. Anyway,
Nope.
so that's how we got to start off New Year's Day, an encounter with Dexter the cat. Anyway, with that being said, Mark's still
Blessed
laughing.
little soul that he is.
He is. He is. Yeah. And Misha says it's all selective, Wayne, all of it.
Yeah, I know.
And you had a glitch in the matrix. Terrible. Possible, but getting into New Year's, people I don't think always realize just how far back it goes. Like everything else, like Christmas and such, going back January 1st is actually Yule night. There's nothing about New Year's itself. In fact, festivals and celebrations have been marking the beginning of the calendar year for thousands of years. And some even dispute when the actual dates really are. But some festivities were simply a chance to drink and be merry. However, many more were linked more so to agriculture or astronomical events, right? I know. So, signifying the end of Yule, festivities concluded on the 12th night, right? So many modern heathens will sync this with New Year's Eve. And the last party to celebrate the new year, celebrating the passing of the darkest and coldest of times, looking forward to the lengthening days and warming temperatures. So, aren't we all looking for that? But of course, it was the customs associated with wassailing embodies and imports the customs around caroling. So who knew? But anyway,
I did.
The word essentially relates to health, prosperity, and luck, which was used permanently as a type of salutation. Not only would you use the word to greet somebody, but the greeting itself would also be an implication that you wish them good health. So wassail was an alcoholic beverage used to cheer one in while wishing good health and good fortune. Hail stems from the wassailing word, which was another word for greeting, right? Hail. So, right? Didn't you guys know that? I thought it was kind of cool. Bubbles on X. See, it goes to show, Happy New Year, Bubbly, that you can see your comments on X. So, anyway, thank you. So, anyway, getting some of the getting some of the comments where we fall too far behind. I believe Jack the Ripper was both the butcher and the wife of a doctor. So we go.
Oh, we cover both sides?
Yeah.
My argument always is if it was just some bloke on the side street who was a butcher or a barber, then what's the big secret?
Right.
Why would two police forces bury that if it was just some random psycho dude, right? No,
There we go. There we go.
no,
So,
no.
Michael says traditional shaman drawing the mushrooms in the Christmas tree, delivering them down the chimneys during the holiday, and its connection and color similarity to Santa is fascinating. It is, especially that it's
It is.
like mushrooms to boot. That's interesting. So, there we go. Spooky greetings indeed. Cheered a bit too much.
Oh,
That a girl. That a girl. Okay. So now we're getting back on track. Hello, Dolly. Happy New Year. So getting into some of the the ancient ways. Babylon. New Year's festivities date back some
sorry.
4,000 years to ancient Babylon, connecting religion and mythology. Ancient Babylon, the new moon following a vernal equinox, which happened in late March, an equal amount of sunlight and darkness were present to mark the new year. The Babylonians celebrated a festival called Akitu. This evolved from the Sumerian word for barley, which was cut in the spring and evolves in different ritual on each of its 11 days. So basically, they believe the world was symbolically cleansed during these rituals and the world was recreated by basically the guys in preparation for the new year and the return of spring. Early Romans compromised. Well, these have a 10-month calendar, see? And yet we're on the Roman Gregorian, which has 12. And didn't we have 13 at one time?
That I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure we did.
13 months?
Yeah, we did 13-month calendars. So the new year originally corresponded with the vernal equinox. Again, the tradition suggested by the calendar was created by Romulus around the 8th century BC. In the subsequent centuries, the calendar lost its synchronicity with the sun. Julius Caesar decided to solve the problem by consulting with astronomers and mathematicians in his time in 46 BC with the introduction of the new Julian calendar, which is solar based. That's interesting.
See, anything the Romulans are involved in is never good.
Romulans.
Well, you said it came from Romulus. What else could it be?
I know. Buddy Star Trek. So I know. So not all ancient cultures celebrated the new year on January 1st. Phoenicians and Persians began their new year with the spring equinox, and the Greeks celebrated it on the winter solstice. The Egyptians began the year with the annual flooding of the Nile River, which coincided with the rising star of Sirius. The first day of the Chinese New Year occurred on the second new moon after the winter solstice. So definitely not, not traditional by any means. Middle Ages.
It's funny, most kids, most children that I grew up with, we started the new year in when we went back to school. It was really ingrained in us that was you start the new year, right? Going to school. And it was wild because when I talked to other people, it'd be like, it took me a while to get into the adult world of the new year when it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird when you start thinking about like little things like that.
Yeah.
Things are not always what they seem.
That's for sure.
Middle Ages, medieval Europe, all celebrations accompanying the new year were considered to be pagan and very unchristian-like. Therefore, in 567 AD, the Council of Tours abolished January 1st as the beginning of the year, replacing it with this more religious significance, such as December 25th or March 25th, which was a feast of the Annunciation. January 1st was given a Christian significance and became known as a feast of the circumcision, which was considered to be the 8th day of Christ's life, counting from December 25th.
Never good.
So in 1582, after the reform of the Gregorian calendar, Pope Gregory XII reestablished January 1st as the very first New Year's Day. That's kind of cool. So if Joe and Jay. What? I'm kind of jealous of Joe and Jay light wand thingies with sound. Oh, those are the lightsabers. Yes. Yeah, I know. He was giving those away.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they had a promotion where Joe was giving away lightsabers. Yes, lightsabers.
I
Exactly.
technically won it, but they wouldn't give it to me.
Yeah. Poor Wayne.
Always.
I know. Not fun. Not fun. Um,
Hey,
okay, get
you know my last name, right, Mallows? Right? You know where it comes from? It's a flower
enlighten
called a
me.
mallow.
Enlighten me.
It's from a
Yeah.
flower called a mallow, right? And
Yeah.
you know what? Why you give a plant a mallow? You give it to someone who you want to give misfortune to. So you would send
Wow.
them. Yeah, you would send them a bouquet of mallows.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of harsh.
It's harsh. Yeah, that's harsh. Wonder where that came from. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Did we have our name and they just named it after us, or did they
Uh-oh.
name us after the misfortune flower?
Uh-oh. Amelia says lentils represent money. Their small, round, flat shape resembles ancient coins. For centuries, Italians believed that eating lentils at the start of the year brings prosperity, financial abundance in the months ahead. The more lentils you eat, the more abundance you invite. And she says, I don't eat them, and I don't blame you.
Hmm.
I also don't eat them. I do seriously, right after the clock strikes midnight. I cannot imagine having
No.
lentils. It's just like not fun food, right, Bubbles? Not fun food. Anyway, unlike pizza or something along those lines. Folklore and traditions, since we've got started with lentils. In Canada, their New Year's tradition comes in the form of ice fishing. Oh, ice skating with friends and family while watching a standing firework display, and of course, the polar bear swim. The very popular swim dates back to Vancouver, Canada, in the very early 1900s.
No. No.
Okay, I have to say that growing up, one year, and it was in March, so up north, and the ice just started to melt at around the third week of March, just along the shoreline because it was a somewhat mild winter. Then, yeah, I did. In the cold water of the lake. I know.
I only did that once because my parents' dock got jammed up in the ice, and this champ had to break the ice and go down and release the moorings and come back up, and it was just like blue, just blue. It was a requirement. It wasn't fun.
Yes, for
No.
myself, I was a willing participant.
Negative.
Wayne, my grandmother used to give mallows to people she did not like. Your name most likely came from people who sold and grew mallows.
There you go. See?
Say, there we
Cursed
go.
through the generations.
Terrible.
That
Nope,
is.
nope
That's
to the
true.
polar bear swim. Yeah, I was pretty cold, but I won't lie. It's just only because in the group of us, we had access to like a steam bath sauna. We just kind of jump right in.
Even
So
so, no thanks. Like, man, you're purple when you come out. It's just nasty.
yeah, it was pretty
Why would you want
cold.
to do that? All I can remember
Yeah.
coming out like my hair is soaked. I'm
Tough
drenched to the
northerner.
skin. I
Grr,
wasn't.
tough
I just kept thinking about
northerner.
how bad the Titanic people must have had it jumping into that cold water because
Right.
it was like salt water, so it was below freezing. It was nasty.
Yeah, it had nothing that crazy cold, that's for sure. Okay, Poland states that if you wake up early on New Year's Eve, you will wake up early for the rest of your life. Oh, that would be terrible. If you touch the floor with the right foot when getting out of bed, you can expect a lot of luck for the whole new year. Oh, here's one. Eating pickled herring as the first bite of food on the new year brings good luck to those of Polish descent. I don't know if that's worse than the lentil. In Poland, the tradition of eating massive New Year's Eve dinners lives on. It is believed that eating a lot of food in the last night of the year will ensure that hunger never enters your home.
Hmm.
Wow. I'm cursed. Thank you, Poland.
See,
I
I'm not
know.
Polish. I'm not worried about it.
I know. Oh my God. Yes, thank you, Michael. That's exactly. See, there was something good that came out of that.
Only if you can
So,
make it from the water to the sauna.
Bart. Yeah, happy New
Hey,
Year,
barman.
Bart. Yeah. What kind of new trouble can we create? Oh, a lot, I'm sure. We'll see you Monday. So,
My friend from The Good Omen.
shenanigans. Yeah, shenanigans. Bed and waking up. I'll Google that. Yes. As the clock strikes midnight New Year's Eve, eat one grape with each of the 12 chimes. What's the bonus of doing that? I don't mind grapes. Could it be in the form of wine?
That's a lot of grapes.
Asking for a friend. Anyway, okay. Ireland. It's believed that having a redheaded woman to be the first visitor to your home on the
Woo!
first day of the new year
Woo!
is a sign of bad luck.
Oh,
Crap.
jeez. Imagine that.
Bam. So on the other hand, a dark, handsome stranger could be good fortune all year round. If you wish to create your own good luck, try spring cleaning at home and starting the new upcoming year with a clean slate. You could take Christmas bread and hang it on the doors of your walls of your home or bang it, one of the two. I think it's a both of an option to chase away bad luck on New Year's Eve and invite good spirits and good fortune. Beautiful Irish New Year's tradition with families setting a place at dinner for their loved ones who were lost during the past year. They also leave the door unlocked, and this is done in honor of the memory of their deceased friends and family. I think that's really a nice gesture. A lot of them seem to do that.
I'm not leaving the door unlocked around here.
What?
So I'm
No.
not leaving the door unlocked around here.
No.
Right?
Chad bang pots at midnight to chase away bad energy. Yeah, some people will do that to chase away some of the Bigfoot too. From what I hear, so it's kind of
You told me not to bang pots. 'cause
no,
it
I
gets them
know.
all fired
Apparently,
up.
I know. Apparently, you're not
Mm.
supposed to do that. So, things to do: order Christmas bread. So,
I think we're in trouble, like with the redheaded woman, right? And a guy named Mallow. Like it's just we're just screwed.
it could be a thing.
Oh,
Does it count if a dark, handsome coworker drives you home from work New Year's Eve? Why not? I say.
why not?
Why not? Let him in first. Push him through the front door. Okay. Iceland. This is the most important night of the year in Iceland, and there are several magical traditions that are supposed to happen. Cows, oh my God, are meant to be able to talk. Seals take on human form. The dead rise from their graves, and the elves can actually move a house.
Hmm.
What?
I wonder if that's where mermaids came from on those nights, like, the seals turning into humans or take human form. It's interesting concept for sure.
Anything can happen in Iceland. Vikings.
My dad was there. I know.
Yeah. Dexter Mallow, he's doomed.
No,
Cat.
no. The guy that feeds him is doomed. Mark. I have the bandages to prove it.
Cat wasn't having it.
No.
Okay, Scotland. What do we have? Okay. In Scotland comes a tradition of Hogmanay, which is the Scots' last day of the year. They check the country. People observe New Year's Eve by visiting the homes of friends and family while exchanging gifts. Ooh, gifts. Special attention is given to the first guest of the new year, known as First Foot. There seems to be a bringer of good luck. The First Foot carry salt, bread, a coin, whiskey, and a lump of coal as they enter the home. That's a very interesting combination. This tradition was believed to have been started when the Vikings, who celebrated the winter solstice with large parties towards the end of December. Hogmanay is also celebrated in the form of events such as torchlight procession in Edinburgh, which they do every year. I just watched a few videos on that actually just yesterday. The procession in Edinburgh, street parties, and fireworks. In the city of Stonehaven at midnight, Scots are dressed in kilts, waiting with fireballs around. I can't even read my own writing, and which Paris to the streets filled with spectators. I don't know. Yeah, So the fire is meant to purify the new year. That's what it is. Okay, fireballs around. Okay. This it ends near the harbor. Okay, with all fire sticks are tossed into the sea. So basically, they have torches, fire purification, and yeah, that's that.
I wouldn't want to be
Uh,
walking around outside tonight in a kilt. Just saying.
no, that would not be fun.
No.
He only made it to my steps as I was walking backwards, warding off evil. Hear that superstition? Yes, yes, actually, we have. Okay. So Russia, Christmas was banned as a religious holiday in 1929. Christmas trees were banned until 1935 when they returned. Uh, they were turned into New Year trees. The new year is huge time for spending money and celebrating. So the new year is also when Grandfather Frost, known in Russia as the Dead Moros, brings presents to children. On New Year's Eve, children hold hands, make a circle around the Christmas tree, and call for him to appear. Then official Christmas and New Year holidays in Russia went from December 31st to January 10th. So they really extend it, and they just change things up over there.
You know what you always say, though? Any form of communication is an invitation.
We're talking about the cat again? No.
No, we're talking about those children all holding hands around the tree asking for something to appear.
Yes.
I demand you to show yourself. What does that sound like?
I know. I love the deep diving old wives' tales, traditional folklore, eccentric traditional sayings back. Cultural anthropology. Yes. Yes, we do have a lot of different ones here. I love it too. I love that, like getting into the ancient folklore of everything, because we're all so different, And this is, some things that are still celebrated even like today. Mexico, it's believed that by grabbing your suitcase on New Year's Eve and running around the house while dragging it along means you will be able to spend the upcoming new year traveling to exciting destinations. God, we're doing this all wrong. It's also believed that wearing red or yellow underwear will help bring love and money, respectively. While celebrating with friends and family, gathering to enjoy a big dinner, people then eat 12 grapes, okay, and 12 seconds to ensure the new year wishes come true.
You might ensure your death. 12 grapes in 12 seconds.
Just stuff them all in there. I wish I knew that 2 days ago. Right?
I was going to say, wish we knew all that. We're a day late, $1 short on this show today.
Sorry. In Ecuador, probably one of the area traditions out there where locals burn scarecrows or effigies to dispel any bad vibes from the past. Sometimes they're even dressed to resemble people they dislike and are then burned as a symbol of forgiving and forgetting. The scarecrow effigies are often accompanied by photographs of messages of negative things that represent the past year.
Do you know what would happen next year if I did that? We'd have like 30-something scarecrows on the front lawn all burning at the same time. I'm doing it.
Australia, we get drunk so we don't remember. See, there's an advantage to that too. I would run out of...
You don't remember when you come back to this life anyway.
I know. Okay. The Philippines. People in this area obsessed with all things around New Year's Eve. Secular objects are thought to be sacred and bring good fortune to the household in the new year. Coins in the pockets, polka-dotted clothes, round foods like grapes, again, the grapes and oranges, are all example of things that you will find in every household in the Philippines during this holiday. Mark. It's believed in the UK having cats New Year's Eve can lead to a lot of stress. Yes.
He said. And on New Year's Day, Mark.
I know. That's funny. Okay. In Spain, along with many other Latin countries, again with the freaking grapes. I like grapes, but this is a lot of grapes. 12 grapes on New Year's Eve, one for each stroke of midnight, is said to bring good luck throughout the coming year.
Do you notice how the 12 seems to be coming up over and over and over again?
Yeah,
Like
it's
not as
always
just in this show, but like throughout the other shows that we've done, there's like 12 months, 12 columns, 12 disciples, 12 grapes.
yes. I know that's
Interesting number.
it's always a thing. The 12.
It is a thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
it is a
So
thing, isn't it?
where where the grapes, because she corrected underneath, grapes later turned to champagne for less time. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down. That's why I said,
Champagne.
can it be wine? Argentina, it is customary to see shreds of paper raining down on the streets of Buenos Aires on the last day of the year. This is because office workers have a tradition showing all documents, calendars, and notepads are in shredded format, of course, to welcome the new year with a clean desk and less clutter. The act of shredding paper and letting it fly is believed to symbolize the leading of all negativity. So, leaving of all negativity and allowing positivity to enter one's life. Huh.
So if we rip up the mortgage payments, we're good.
Sure.
Okay, done.
Denmark. Any other Scandinavian countries over the holidays have a tradition of smashing plates, just like the Greeks, but not on their neighbors' houses for a sign of affection. I don't think any of our neighbors, if we start smashing plates on their rooftops, would they find that to be very affectionate? So these plates are thrown after midnight for good luck, and those who have the largest pile of plates in the morning are said to have the most loyal friends.
Who cleans it up?
I don't
Do the
know.
loyal friends come back and clean it up? I bet not.
I know. I don't know, but Italy. Eating carnival fried pastry guarantees a sweet year. I'm down for the
I'm
carnival
all
fried
over that. Right
pastry.
there. See, we can do that.
Babos, you've been holding out. We didn't know about that. Eat lentils. Who wants to do lentils when you could have carnival fried pastry?
I like that. I like
I'm
funnel cake and stuff like that. I'm all over it.
right. I know. I think that would be like outstanding. Um, cannoli. That's right. See, there we go. Germany. A Dutch German tradition of eating pork and sauerkraut brings good luck in the new year. German folks also say that eating herring at the stroke of midnight will bring good luck for the next year. Taking part of a, a lead pouring with family and friends is popular in Germany and New Year's Eve. This is usually done by standing in a circle or a group and melting a piece of bread on a spoon over a candle. Once it is melted, you drop it into a bowl or a glass of cold water and shape it to the project which the new year holds for you. For
I don't know if you
example,
could melt bread.
I don't know. If it all hardens into the shape of an eagle, you will fly and travel more. It's lead. Sorry, not lead. Lead.
Not okay. I was gonna say, how do
Lead.
you melt
Yeah.
bread?
Lead. If the lead shapes into a wheel, you could even win the lottery. However, if the lead takes the shape of a cross, it could mean death. Ha.
Well, we know which one I'd get.
Yeah. Right. No. No. The southern U.S. Okay. In the southern U.S., it's believed that eating black-eyed peas, ham hocks, and collard greens or cabbage on New Year's Eve will attract a financial windfall. Hope you're listening, Jojo. God, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. So many different little New Year's traditions. So, making a lot of noise and light from fireworks to gunshots to church bells seems to be a favorite New Year's pastime across the globe. In Thailand, it was once a tradition to fire guns to frighten away demons. In China, firecrackers sort of routed the forces of darkness. In Denmark, they throw plates and glasses at each other's front doors. Okay. Ecuador, a tradition to burn the effigies of famous people to destroy bad juju from the past year and start fresh. In the early American colonies, the sound of pistol shots rang through the air. In the United States today, many like to watch the ball drop from NYC's Times Square. In other countries, many folks wait for the church bells or the chimes of clock towers just to ring out. Huh. So I don't know.
Well, striking of the bells drives off demons as well. The chiming of the great bells. So that would
Yeah.
stand to reason as well.
Yeah. I love bells, though. I'd be okay with bells,
Ooh.
Except for like the church across the street that one time, and the bell machine wasn't a real bell.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like a computerized bell.
No, they were real.
Were they?
They were real bells.
So
They
what
were
was it
just
do with that? On a timer?
The strikers were set up on automatic strikers, right? So they all had the strikers set up on different magnetos,
Right. Okay.
right? So it's almost like a player piano with the
Yeah.
paper reels.
Right.
These are just electronic paper reels. So the strikers would chime and sing a song. But this one particular night, around 1 o'clock
3
in the
hours,
morning,
4 hours.
the
hours.
primitive AI of the bell control got confused and started singing the songs at like volume 11 for about 3.5 hours. It was the police
At
came, the
least.
fire, everybody was there. It was crazy.
I know.
But there was no demons.
Not anymore.
No, it's all gone.
Not all those bells. Oh my God. Yeah, that was insane. That was just crazy. I don't know. I can't
Couldn't
even
have anything to
imagine.
do with me living across the road.
Maybe.
Just saying. I'm just an observer. Just an observer.
Just an observer.
It's okay.
Oh my God. Amelia says small towns in Italy, church bells ring with the roosters. No.
Mhm.
No, that's early. Superstitions. Okay. Let's look at New Year's superstitions. Babies born on New Year's Day are said to have the best luck throughout their lives. Do we have any New Year's babies in chat?
That would be my buddy Fred.
Okay, well, his luck isn't so great. So.
I see, right? But he does know me.
Yeah. Weather. If the wind blows from the south in the wee hours of New Year's Day, the next day will bring prosperity. If it comes from the north, look for more bad weather. If the wind comes in the east, usually famine and calamity. If the wind comes in from the west, it means the year will be plentiful. However, could also mean the death of an important person. That's kind of like one extreme to the next extreme.
Well, for the last 3 days, it's all been northeast. So again.
Yeah. So famine and calamities.
Yeah. And bad weather.
And bad weather. That's great.
Nice.
Wonderful. Crying. You don't want to be crying on January the 1st because allegedly you could set the tone for the next 12 months. Okay. Kissing someone at midnight. Kissing your significant other at midnight means your life will last all year. Well, that's good.
Good to know.
I don't
see you after the show.
God. Don't clean your house. According to the Chinese, tidying your house on New Year's Day is that clean away the good luck. Okay, you store it up for the new year. So you know how some cultures will clean their houses to get rid of all, like everything, get rid of that energy. The Chinese say you shouldn't do it because you will clean away all of your good luck. So you want to store it for the new year.
We're safe.
Lending money. Not nice to lend money out on New Year's Eve, as a service is a preview of what the rest of the year will look like. Okay. A full wallet on New Year's Eve will mean you should have a full wallet all year round.
What's that? What's a
What's
wallet?
that?
What's money?
Oh.
You're just making those words up. What are you talking
about? No. Making noise. Firecrackers and noisemakers become part of the New Year's Eve celebrations around the world, as folklore states that the loud sounds ward off evil spirits, but it will also frighten and even traumatize a pet. So think twice about it. I go with that one.
They're
Sorry,
always
evil
talking and
spirits. I don't know
singing
which one
and
will be
making
kind of
sounds.
worse. Yeah. um, Opening your door at midnight. A Philippine tradition states that everyone opens their doors and windows at midnight. All the bad vibes can clear out and all the good luck can come in. Huh?
I don't know
I
if we
know.
did that on, what is that, on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve at midnight? Is that what they're talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, at any point, if you open your doors, yeah, on New Year's Day, like on New Year's.
Our curtains would have come off the rails. You know what kind of wind we've had here the last few days? I would have opened the
Our
window and either
decks,
got sucked right out the window or blown down the stairs.
decks should be gone. I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, let me go
Yeah,
open the
we'd be
window.
frozen. Yeah, no kidding. Bubbles like we'd be frozen for sure. So,
Yeah. Open the
so
window. Bye, cat.
I know, right? Oh my God, the cat gone. Um, Getting into, huh? Okay, getting into. I don't want to. I'm not going to do any of the prediction stuff because that's going to be for the next. We're having another open discussion on the when is it 14th of this month because there's so much information. I don't want to lump it into this. All the prediction and prophecies, all that stuff is going to be jam packed in one show. So
That'd be
mark your
cool.
calendars for that. That'll be
So
fun.
do you want me to write my predictions and prophecies
No.
for the upcoming year? Oh, you'll like it. They're good.
I know, I know. I know, I know. There's a lot of stuff, which is why I just don't want to get into it too much. But let's bring in like there's and again, it's another one of those times for the Victorian stuff. The Victorians, there's a thing called, we can talk a little bit about that as well. But there's this thing called the Victorian ghost party craze.
Mm,
Right?
yeah,
Essentially, I kind of wonder if that's what happened at the house. But
quite.
as basically, this is something that goes back as early as obviously the Victorian age, early 19th century, early 20th, and it comes back from the Civil War time to the advent of World War One, right? And back in 1918, influenza epidemic and such, the Victorian era, of course, gave birth to spiritualism, and we've done all kinds of stuff about that, Christmas and our open mics and such. I mean, the Victorian had crazy, customs and mourning rituals and the holiday tradition of telling ghost stories. But with the runaway success, when Charles Dickens had A Christmas Carol, 1843, the association with the supernatural and the holidays took root with the Victorians, and they started getting into like spawning not only a winter of a storytelling tradition, but it was a new way to celebrate the season, and parties were always the way to go,
Well,
right?
ghost stories were captivating. There's no Nintendo, right? There's no Netflix, right?
Yeah,
So if you had a good storyteller
yeah.
at your party, the people would gather. They'd come from miles
Mhm.
around to hear a good tale, and if you could spin it really well, you had the audience captivated. But keep in mind too, with the idea of the ghost stories. I mean, just what we've been talking about tonight. Leaving the doors open, setting a plate for loved ones who's passed, friends who have passed. It all has that thread running through the whole thing.
Mm.
That it's tell a ghost story, have a plate set for your spiritual, you know, loved one who's passed on, so they can feel welcome and come back. There's always been that.
Yeah, it's true, and it basically is something that, I mean, remember the experience we had even at the manor,
Yep.
that one New Year's Eve. And what was cool about that, like, we weren't at the house. The house had been empty for about 4 months, except for the occasional stop by to make sure everything was okay. And no forced air heating at all. It was all radiator heating. Nobody walking around,
No
no
critters.
pets. Like there was nothing going on in there at that time. No pets, nothing at that specific time. And there were cameras on the exterior of the house, of course, and in the interior of the house. And a camera it started almost at about like almost 4 p.m. right on the button.
Yep.
And of course I'm being notified. And there's only so much, like, like we're paying for like um be able to have a certain amount of videos kept on the hard drive so we could go back and see what was going on if something happened. This went on until probably 3 minutes after midnight. And notification after notification. And we could see, like, orbs. Like, orbs are kind of funky to start with. And there's many things that could be orbs. But being, again, New Year's Eve, end of December, like January 1st, ruled out bugs flying around, things like that. None of that. There was, like, again, no forced air, nobody walking around on the one carpet. There's a one carpet, which was in the dining room. And there were things going on all over the house. Orbs coming out of the light fixtures, some of them two at a time. They would spin around, go into the mirrors, or coming out of the mirrors. They would zing by the cameras. They would go across from behind the dining room, which was the kitchen area, but not the old kitchen area.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. What were your thoughts on that? Because
my thoughts were, it was interesting just in the ghost story point of view. When do you start telling ghost stories? You start telling ghost stories after dark.
Right.
Well, in this neck of the woods at 4:00, it's dark.
Yeah, right.
So it's interesting that the activity started literally as the sun went down, and went until the party was over.
Yeah.
That to me was really cool. But what was interesting for me as far as orbs go, like I don't put a lot into them, but when we sort of froze the video and took screenshots of each orb and then blew them up, enhanced them a bit, there was faces in many of them. Some of them were outstanding faces, like just unreal faces, eyes, nose. Somebody had coif hair. Other people had like the receding hairline. It was wild. It was
A woman in
completely
a
different
bun?
people. Oh yeah, the one woman in a bun. It was wild stuff. I loved it.
Yeah. It was crazy. But the fact that it had started when it did, because there were servants at the time there, and the fact that it started when it did, and the fact that everything stopped literally, 2-3 minutes after midnight. And then it was like crickets, just dead.
Nothing.
It went
like
from
no
everything in that
sounds,
time
no motion, nothing.
to be done.
Nothing at all. Craziness.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it never happened after that. Like it's
No.
we've never saw that happen again. So it must have just been like planets lined up just right, something in the air.
Maybe not. Maybe it was just their turn to entertain. I mean, that
Yeah.
house is built to entertain in, but I'm quite convinced it wasn't. It's just like it's not always commonplace to have dinner at the same person's house for Christmas every year. It's the big family
Right.
rotated around, right? So I'm sure that was the New Year's on that street for them, for that family. And then the next year it was maybe at the children's house. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the ghost whisperer by any means.
It was cool though. It was a very cool experience and very much of the time period, which was super fascinating. But with these, like, again, you're thinking to yourself, like, these ghost parties, Victorian ghost parties. I mean, it goes back. It just went on in Greenville, Alabama. Okay, people putting this party trend on the map. It was just something that people, the New Year's ghost party of the year kind of thing. Like, it became a socialite thing.
We could do that next year. We could just rent a hall and you and I could tell ghost stories while people have their dinner. Be a sellout, I promise you. It'd be wild.
Right.
You would tell stories and I would pour water for people.
It really became a thing. You know what? All of these high society people would start writing about it, and all of these, little newspapers or little articles. And one had said, it was a journal called The Art Interchange, featured careful instructions for carrying out a New Year's ghost party in its January issue. Going back, this is like 76 or something. And essentially making the party hostesses everywhere sit up and take notice. And one of these was a New York society maven named Linda Hull Larned, and she took the home entertaining world by storm with the publication of 1899's The Hostess of Today, which helped spark the haunted holiday celebration. And again, December 18th, 1904, the issue in the San Francisco Examiner. Some people hold to the notion, this is what the article said, some people hold to the notion that the realm of spirits is only separated from that of mortals by a veil. And it went on to say, and to a favored few, the veil is transparent. By the winter of 1904, the newest New Year's party trend had hit the West Coast in a storm of white cheesecloth. Like it's wild, and it gets into masquerade balls. It gets into so many crazy things, and this is all for New Year's. And you look at some of the decorations, they would have like a human skull on the table, and they would have all these candles and these small skulls around it. And it's just like it is amazing that it was. I wish they still did things like that.
We can. I just said that.
I know. But I mean, like on an average, not just as weirdos. I mean, just on an average, this is a whole movement. It made all the society papers. There were guidelines on how to do it, right? And again, when we get back into that theory, everybody thinks Halloween is the most haunted time of the year, when realistically, it was this time of the year.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know as well as I do, when it's colder, the spirits are more active. There's more static in the air.
Yeah.
It's easier to move around in cold air. Sound travels better in cold air than warm air. You know.
Yeah.
Plus,
I know.
I mean, like the trends don't stop; they just change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was popular for a while until it's not popular anymore. Now we have TikTok, and that'll be cool for a while until you know the next popular thing comes along, right? You know, everything that's old is new again. So if somebody gets in the idea of like, hey, let's do these ghost story parties again, and they have, I guess, the right backing, the right last name, the right place, the right space, and the right headliner, then I guarantee you within 5 years it'll be the rage again for the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
But not until then.
Well, I think the Victorians, I mean, they kept this going for years, right down to the seances and all.
Because there was nothing new to take it away.
Right.
When something new came along, it's gone. Right. But as long as there's nothing new to take it away, you're off to the races.
Yeah. So now we can get into the stroke of midnight, because this whole pile of other stories. So there's a place called the Old Belfry, and it was an octagon-shaped building, and it's one of the old hauntings. Gosh, sorry, Michael, I see so many profiles coming up for you. I'm like, I'm all over the map here, just trying to keep up. Anyway, older generations of bell ringers had firmly believed that the belfry was haunted. No one had actually claimed to have seen the ghost, but when the subject was mentioned to one of them, he would look wise and shake his head and say, no, definitely it was haunted. But none of the old bell ringers, it was a church belfry, right, would have ventured alone into the building after dark. Not one of them had ventured down those winding stairs that led to a vault below. And some of them have even been curious enough to know what it contained, but nobody would do it. And it goes back to even, experiences that I've had, even with tour guides, older versus younger. The younger men basically had supplanted the older generation of bell ringers, laughed at the superstition of their predecessors, yet none of them displayed any curiosity to go in and explore this. So one New Year's Eve at 11 o'clock, a merry party of young men, all more or less expert, campanologists, were seated on benches round the walls of the rope room in the old belfry. They had taken part of the wild, unrestrained mob who paraded the city streets, making the night hideous with blasts from tin trumpets and shrieking whistles and sort of indulging in horseplay, so to speak.
So basically they were drunk, right?
Yeah. We can go with drunk. So anyway, Though young in years, these men were experienced ropers, and their potation seemed to have taken little effect on them. To them, the ringing in of the new year was a huge joke, and they passed by. Just kind of went back and forth with different jokes. So there was a one man, John Greaves, who was younger, less experienced than his companions, and had mixed his drinks unwisely before coming to the belfry, and was pretty much unnoticed by the others. So he goes off, wanders, grabs a candle, left the rope room, and staggered down the winding stairs. When he reached the ground floor, he struck a match, lit the candle, muttering incoherently to himself, and then sought the steps that led to the vault below. So his muddled brain, drunk brain, um, had conceived the idea of doing what he never would have thought of doing in a sober state. Even in broad daylight, he decided to explore the mysterious chamber. So he stumbles down the stone steps, reaches a small landing, pushing aside a heavy door which creaked, of course, rusty hinges as to add to the allure of it all, enters the vault. The place was empty. The square cell, flagged floors. The walls were dry but covered with thick layer of dust, nothing major, cobwebs, again lending to the allure. So although the night was mild, the place was just had a musty, earthly smell, seemed cold as death, is what he had said. So Greaves uttered a facetious laugh and muttered something to himself and was about to return to his companions when all of a sudden there was a draft of ice cold air which extinguished his candle. He took a step forward and his toe caught something. He stumbled, he fell. After several vain attempts to rise, much because he was, drinking, he basically fell asleep on the cold, dusty stone wall. He dreamt that he sat up in the vault, in inky darkness, and that he was there. He did not know. Heavy footsteps sounded like the stone steps. So, is he dreaming it or is it really happening? Right? So he didn't appear to notice Greaves. He was sort of just cowering in there. But as he watched, through fascinated eyes, there was a monk. Monks. They descended through the opening in the pavement. He could hear the scraping sound of their feet descending a ladder. So it sounds like pretty residual, right? He could hear the murmur of voices, but could not distinguish the words. The voices ceased, and then came the thud of a pick, followed by unmistakable sound of a shovel throwing up dirt. Oh, what do you think's going on there? So anyway, this goes on, and there's a whole pile of stuff that happens with him. But in the end, he did not want to hang around to see anymore. He ran down the stone steps, finding the door leading to the street ajar, rushed out, slamming the door behind him, and said he never ran faster in his life. So what were the monks doing? The monk went up slowly the winding staircase, passed across the room of the ground floor, ascended the steps to the rope room, went straight to the rope that hung to the tenor bell, placed a crucifix carefully on his girdle, taking the hold of the rope, pulled it. And after that, the big bell did not ring. So it was just a lot of little things. So was he drunk or did he just imagine it?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, my curiosity, if you got a stone floor and he watched them descend into the ground on a stone floor, there has to be I would be looking for a trap door or some sort of covering to go down into the ground, in my estimation,
Yeah. I mean, it gets kind of spooky,
But that's the idea of a ghost story.
I know.
Nothing spookier than children. Children ghosts are crazy.
Yeah. And then there's stories, going back. One second here. I was trying to bring this up. I'm just trying to find the one of Marilyn Monroe. So the New Year's Eve tradition with Marilyn Monroe, is, I thought this one was really interesting. A New Year's toast with Marilyn Monroe in Hollywood, California. So on New Year's Eve, and this comes from, if you guys want to look some of these up, they're on AmericanGhostWalks.com. Really great compilation of stories here. So, anyway, New Year's Eve in Hollywood, in a time legendary parties and celebrity glamour, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, which so many people have talked about seeing her there. A guest list included, the who's who of everybody back then. The ghost of Marilyn Monroe is famously seen in the reflection of a full length mirror that once hung in her favorite suite. On New Year's Eve, when the hotel is filled with the energy of celebration, her playful spirit is said to be at its strongest. Guests have reported feeling a sudden chill, smelling the faint scent of her perfume, and even seeing her reflection in the mirror as if she's getting ready for a party to which she will never attend. Another famous specter who's up on a different floor is that of Montgomery Clift, who lived in the room 928 for 3 months while filming From Here to Eternity. So these are all people who have been spotted in and around this time of year on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. Another ghostly tale.
Amazing. I love the ones of people showing up, seeing their image in panes of glass and in mirrors and things like that. I just love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. So easy for them too, though, right? Okay, here's the one in St. Paul, Minnesota, a gangster's last party. So St. Paul, Minnesota, in the roaring 20s, St. Paul was a city with a secret. It was a notorious haven for gangsters, thanks to the official layover policy of the city's police chief. And mobsters like John Dillinger and Barker Karpus gang were free to hide out and spend their ill-gotten gains. The Wabasha Street Caves, a former silica mine carved into the bluffs of the Mississippi River, became a glamorous speakeasy known as the Castle Royale. It was a place of illicit booze, jazz, and lavish New Year's Eve parties where gangsters and socialites rubbed elbows. It is said that the ghosts of these parties still linger, and the Wabasha Street Cave's own history note visitors reporting hearing the phantom clinging of glasses, the faint strains of jazz band, and the apparitions of men in pinstripe suits and women in flapper dresses forever celebrating New Year's Eve from a bygone era. The most famous story is that of a gangster shot and killed in the caves, his spirits now haunting the back rooms, forever searching for his killer, and the tales of the city's gangsters past are cornerstone for St. Paul's haunted history. So I don't know. What is it about good old New Year's and New Year's Eve that keeps everything hanging in there?
I think you said it earlier. I think it's just the culmination of all of the energy, the bygone era energy for sure. But then you get, 50 people, 100 people or more all there together, right? That energy is infectious, right? So that they can pull on that. They can pull energy from a room or one person. Can you imagine what you can get off like 20 or 30 people, right? I mean, you and I have talked about the haunted tunnel over here, where there really isn't a ghost girl there.
Right.
But that there's a couple hundred people that go there every few months expecting some sort of thing to happen. Mm-hmm. And all of that expectation, all that energy just goes out into the stone walls. And then when you walk in there, you feel uneasy, you feel cool air, all kinds of stuff, because it's all other people's thoughts and anticipations going into the walls.
Mm-hmm. Right.
New Year's and Christmas, things like that, they just exude the energy.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's just lending to the whole.
It's like bringing a full tank of fuel to a drag race, right? Everybody has fun. Free fuel. Here we go. Woo.
Free fuel. Let's go.
So.
Oh, boy. Okay. Next story. San Juan, Puerto Rico, the ghosts of Three Kings Day. So in Puerto Rico, the Three Kings, this is January 6th, mind you, is a time of vibrant festivals, ancient tradition, also when the island's colonial spirits are said to be most active. So El Morro, the 16th century Spanish fort that guards San Juan Bay, is a place of immense historical and spiritual power. The ghosts of Spanish soldiers are said to still patrol the ramparts, forever watching for enemy ships. During the festive season of Three Kings Day, the contrast with the fort's somber history, and particularly, according to the National Park Service, visitors have reported hearing phantom cannon fire, seeing the apparitions of soldiers in colonial uniforms. The streets of Old San Juan are also filled with holiday spirits. The city's blue cobblestones are basically said to hold the memories of centuries of history. The ghost of a young woman who died after falling from a balcony is said to haunt La Calle do Cristo, and the spirit of a priest who was killed during the revolt is seen in the Plaza de Armas. The city's rich history and haunted folklore offer a unique way to experience the magic and mystery of the Puerto Rican holiday. So I did not realize, I mean, I'm sure there's all kinds of them out there, all kinds of, stories and haunted tales from this time of year. I've never particularly, hey, Happy New Year, Polly. I've never particularly really gotten into it yet. I have talked about, New Year's Eve and different holiday celebrations and traditions for, years, and I thought this might be kind of fun. And lo and behold, there were so many of them coming forward. There's tons of them out here. New Orleans. Let's do one for New Orleans. Voodoo and New Year's rituals. New Orleans is a city where the veil between the living and the dead is always thin. But during New Year's season, it becomes almost transparent. New Year's Eve in New Orleans is not just a time for parties, it's also a time for spiritual rituals and offerings of the spirits. Marie Laveau, there's the big one, the legendary voodoo queen of New Orleans, is said to be particularly active during the New Year season. Her tomb in St. Louis Cemetery, number 1, is a pilgrimage site for those seeking her blessing or her curse. On New Year's Eve, when the city is filled with the energy of celebration and transition, her spirit is said to be at its most powerful. The LaLaurie Mansion on Royal Street is another site of intense paranormal activity. The mansion was a site of horrific torture and murder in the 1830s. The spirits of Delphine LaLaurie's victims are said to haunt the mansion, and their cries can be heard on quiet nights. So the city's voodoo traditions and most famous hauntings, including the LaLaurie Mansion and the Tomb of Mary Laveau, are central to its paranormal identity.
I didn't know any of that. None of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I like these stories.
Again, like, what is it about specifically, this time of year? You would think that, again, like you were saying, with the whole, manifesting it, or, giving of the energy and the people who swarm in there at vacation time, perhaps,
All of it. I think it's anticipation, it's expectation. Like you always say, why are all the ghost shows filmed at night, right? If you're haunted 24/7, right? But I think it's just when some of these places, it's the influx of people. On a Wednesday afternoon at 1:00, you might have like 2 people wandering around, but when everybody's on vacation and they go to these exotic places, you might have 300 people wandering through in the same amount of time. The energy level is much higher.
Yes, I would agree with you on that. I would definitely agree with you on that.
Well, if spirits pull from people's energy, it's much easier to pull from 300 people than it is 2. In my opinion, I think it's easier.
For sure.
So.
For sure. Yes. It's like, yeah, absolutely. All right.
They starve with me.
God. Alaska. Let's listen to the Alaska Ghosts
Say
of
no more.
I know, Alaska's crazy even now, like all the time. Ghosts of the Frozen North. For those who truly want to embrace the cold and dark winter, Alaska offers a New Year's experience unlike any other. The state's history of gold rush dreams, isolation, and tragedy has left behind a legacy of ghost stories. In Juneau, the Alaskan hotel, built in 1913, is said to be haunted by the Lady in Red, the spirit of a woman who worked in the hotel during the gold rush era. Ghosts report seeing her apparition in a red dress, hearing her footsteps in the hallways. The Red Dog Saloon is another. So these basically are just some of the tales that happen, especially, during the New Year's
So
season.
that one there with the lady in red, I'm pretty sure it's the one that I would looked into because it was so fascinating to me at that time period that
Hmm.
this woman went there with her guy, and he went off to find his fortune, never came back. A lot of miners died. A lot of miners were killed,
Hmm.
murdered for their claim and stuff. So she was there by herself, and money ran out. She had to turn to the oldest trade in the book,
Hmm.
and ended up catching syphilis. And as
Hmm.
soon as they found that out, they carved her, branded her face with a big S, so that everybody on the street knew to stay away from her. And then she hung herself.
Oh boy. So
Well,
I
you
wonder,
couldn't
it could be her. Yeah.
you couldn't work as a woman. You couldn't work anymore.
Yeah.
You had no job, no income, no nothing. It was starvation and cold or the rope. What are you going to do, right?
So
That
sad.
it is. It's brutal. That's
Yeah.
why they say they see her wandering around. People described her, everything. It's mind blowing. The number of people that have seen her.
Yeah. That's terrible. So many. I mean, again, this is the time of year as well. Always makes it so sad. I mean, it's always sad, but the time of the holidays, I guess, is just thinking New Year, and it's just like new beginnings. It's just another shot at it. So
Yeah.
it is very, very sad. Um, San Francisco, California, the Lady of the Lake. Again, also New Year's Eve. So, Stowe Lake, in the heart of the Golden Gate Park, a beautiful and serene spot, holds a dark secret. It is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman who lost her child in the lake over a century ago. She's known as the Lady of the Lake, and her tragic story is basically a staple of San Francisco's folklore. According to legend, the woman was walking with her baby in a stroller when she stopped to talk to a friend. When she turned back, the stroller was gone. She searched frantically for a child, but the baby was never found. Heartbroken, she drowned herself in the lake. Her spirit is said to haunt the lake to this day, forever searching for her lost child. On New Year's Eve, when the park is quiet, the fog rolls in from the bay. Her mournful cries are said to be heard echoing across the water. I know. It's very, very sad.
It is sad.
So much hardship. Um, Seattle, Washington, the Hotel Sorrento Spectral Muse. The Hotel Sorrento, one of Seattle's oldest and most elegant hotels, is also one of its most haunted. The hotel is said to be haunted by the ghost of Alice B. Toklas, a companion of writer Gertrude Stein. Toklas was a frequent guest at the hotel, and her spirit is said to have returned to the place she loved. She is a creative and mischievous spirit, often seen in the hotel's bar and restaurant. Guests and staff have reported seeing her apparition in a flowing white gown, wearing the sound or hearing the sound of her laughter and feeling her playful presence. She is particularly active during the New Year's season when the hotel is filled with the energy of celebration and creativity. She's a beloved figure of the hotel's history and a spectral muse who continues to inspire and entertain its guests. So, also very cool. Um, okay, next one. A Revolutionary War or a Revolutionary New Year, sorry. Boston, Massachusetts.
Hmm.
Boston, a city where the echoes of the American Revolution still ring through the cobblestone streets, has particularly charged atmosphere on New Year's Eve. The city's historic cemeteries, like the Granary Burying Ground, are the final resting places of patriots like Paul Revere and Samuel Adams. On the cold, quiet nights of winter, their spirits are said to be the most active. So, visitors to the burying ground have reported seeing shadowy figures moving among the ancient headstones and hearing the faint sound of voices engaged in a hushed, urgent conversation. Some believe that they are the ghosts of the Sons of the Liberty, however or forever, plotting their rebellion against the British crown. On New Year's Eve, as the city celebrates its freedom, the spirits of those who fought for it are said to join in their spectral forms, a reminder of the sacrifices made for the birth of a nation. Wow, right?
Heavy.
It really is. Like, some of these stories are just fascinating. I'm not clicking. Are you clicking?
I'm not clicking.
I'm not clicking either. I don't know, Mish.
Got
I don't
nothing.
know. Yeah,
Maybe
I
it's the
don't know.
bird. The bird's eating
Could be the bird.
Could be the bird. Bird's
Yeah.
crunching.
Okay. St. Thomas Virgin Islands, the colonial spirits and pirate ghosts. Ooh, sounds interesting. For those seeking a tropical New Year's celebration with a ghostly twist, St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands offer a unique blend of Caribbean beauty and colonial horror. Fort Christian is the oldest standing structure in the islands, a place of immense historical and spiritual power. The dungeons of Fort Christian are said to be haunted by the spirits of prisoners who died in its dark, damp cells. Visitors report hearing the sound of chains rattling and seeing shadowy figures in the dungeons. Blackbeard's Castle, another historic site in St. Thomas, is said to be haunted. The tower is rumored to have been a lookout point for the infamous Blackbeard, and reports of apparitions seeing a headless man and the footsteps of the stone walls. So that's also a thing. And last but not least is Chicago, Illinois, the Water Tower's Winter Spirits. So while the Iroquois Theater fire is Chicago's most famous holiday tragedy, the city has had other winter spirits. The Chicago Water Tower, one of the few buildings to survive the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, is a beautiful limestone landmark on the Michigan Avenue, but it's also home to several ghosts. So the most famous ghost is that of an unknown man who was operating the water pumps during the Great Chicago Fire. As the flames engulfed the city, he realized his efforts were futile. Rather than face the fire, he climbed to the top of the water tower and hung himself. His ghost is said to haunt the upper levels of the tower and is recounted by Windy City Ghosts. His shadowy figure has been seen in the windows by countless passerbys. So again, many more stories of that sort. So again, AmericanGhostWalks.com. Check them out. You'll definitely, the gift that keeps on giving. Whole lot of fun information and ghost stories on that one, to say the least. So I don't know. It is very, very interesting. We could hear what sounded like chains crisscrossing the roads growing up in Glencoe out in New Brunswick. Oh, I bet. I bet.
I wonder what the chains would have been from, though. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of ships shipping out there. There's a lot of trains out there. I just wonder what the chains would have been. It's interesting.
Yeah. That's nuts, isn't it? There's so much that envelops the whole, the whole New Year's thing. I mean, you could get into so many different, again, you touch on folklore, you touch on haunted tales, you touch on superstitions, all around, like surrounding this area. And we'll get into it, like I said, premonitions in another show, because again, there's just so much. But what about historical events?
What, during the Christmas time?
Just
New Year's time?
Just on January the 1st. Okay, so we get into
this is out of my wheelhouse by a mile, just so you know. So.
Well, I have to read it because there's just so much information. So
I haven't got any personal.
Feel free to comment anytime. That's just why
I just don't have any personal ones that I can really pull on, right?
No, you're just being my sidekick.
I can do that.
Yeah. Okay, so 45 BC on January the 1st, the Julian calendar by Julius Caesar takes effect. Okay. 1 AD was the origin of the Christian era. 404 AD, the last gladiator competition in Rome. Again, January 1st. January 1st, 630, the Prophet Muhammad sets out with his army towards Mecca, capturing Bloodly. Again, I'm just sort of copying and pasting, reading what's here. 990 AD, Russia adopts the Julian calendar. 1438, the second Albrecht II von Habsburg becomes king of Hungary. 1502, Portuguese navigators discovers the Rio de Janeiro. Again, this is all on January the 1st. 1583, the first day of the Gregorian calendar in Holland and Flanders. So the Gregorian calendar comes into play. 1600 AD, Scotland begins its numbered year of January the 1st instead of March 25th. Isn't that interesting? Do you know how much stuff is floating around online right now saying that our calendar year should be starting like in March or April, the spring.
Make more sense.
Well, it's clearly what it used to be, right? Um, so then we have 1622. The papal chancery adopts January 1st as the beginning of the year instead again, March 25th.
Yeah.
1651, Charles II Stuart is crowned King of Scotland. 1673, regular mail delivery begins between New York and Boston. 1700, Charleston, Western Europe, except for England, begins using the Gregorian calendar. So that's like, probably 150 years after it was actually created. 1707, John V succeeds his father Pedro II as the King of Portugal. 1710, a Paris merchant named John Marius obtains a 5-year royal privilege for his invention of the folding umbrella, very first in Europe. I know, who knew? January 1st, again. 1724, glassblower Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit, what is the system for making, or invented the system for making some monitors and a Fahrenheit temperature scale. 1776, General George Washington hoists the Union flag. 1785, the Daily Universal Register, Times of London, publishes its very first issue. 1797, Albany replaces New York City as a capital of New York. 1801, the Irish Parliament votes to join the Kingdom of Great Britain, becoming the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. 1804, Haiti gains independence from France. This makes this the only state ever founded by former slaves without slavery. Big deal.
Big deal.
1808, Congress prohibits the importation of slaves. Another big deal. 1818, Mary Shelley's Fahrenheit. Oh, Fahrenheit. I'm all right. I'm still on the other line.
Frankenstein, you mean?
Frankenstein's what I'm coming out with. My
There you
brain.
go.
Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of my brain. Establishes anonymously, by a small London publishing house. So it was published very quietly. 1833, the British government demands the Falkland Islands. Oh my God. So it goes on and on and on. There are so many. I could go all the way up into modern day right now. But the idea is that January 1st had so many monumental pieces of history happen on this date. Again, it's a date for new beginnings. I don't know. Like some of these things are really wild. 1845, Cobble Hill Tunnel in Brooklyn is completed. 1846, the Yucatan declares independence from Mexico. 1847, Michigan is the first state to abolish capital punishment. I know. 1851, the city of Glasgow in Scotland, steamer inaugurates the Philadelphia-Liverpool line. 1851, Canada begins using a decimal currency system. 1862, the first U.S. income tax is issued. 1863, Battle of Galveston, Texas, Confederates recapture the city.
Yeah, that income tax is only temporary. Once the First World War is over, we'll get rid of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
They
it's
promised.
crazy.
They promised.
Most didn't.
They promised.
Yeah, I know. Many promises not kept. Many. I know.
So cynical.
1976, Liberty Bell moves to a new home behind Independence Hall. 1976, NBC replaces the peacock logo. God, what?
Why?
I know. So, 1999, the euro currency is introduced. 2007, Air Flight 574 disappears over Indonesia. 2018, California becomes the largest state to legalize cannabis. Wow, way back then, 2018. So like I said, there's a whole bunch that is all within there for sure,
But it's interesting if it's not really the new year. if the new year has been moved for whatever reason.
Hmm.
I'm with everybody else. I think it's like the new year should be somewhere in March, because that's when, up here in the cold, there's
Yeah.
nothing growing in January or February.
Yeah.
March is the first time you start to see any hint of greenery coming back.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's true. It's true. Absolutely. It's I don't know. How many times is this another form of reset? I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah. um, all right, Michael is talking a lot about UFOs and things like that. I mean, there's a whole, you know, nothing pertaining to New Year per se, but why don't we address it? Um, just for you, Michael,
we can look
right
into it.
there. So, what do we anticipate in 2026 for UFO disclosure?
Nothing.
I know. I know. Will they give it up? Won't they give it
Nope.
up? My gosh, I have to say I've had so many guests contact me about wanting to talk about disclosure and things of that nature. I book up way ahead, so but I do have some dates I can play with. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of that, but again, um, okay, yeah. Chris Bledsoe says Easter is going to be a huge worldwide event. That's what they're saying. He's saying around Easter, the White Lady is going to appear for him, in Egypt. Like he's got a little series of things to look for. There are some believe that, no, this won't be a thing. Um, I like Chris. He's pretty reputable. Um, but there are those who don't agree with it at all. I guess all we can do is say we're going to wait and see what happens on Easter, and fingers crossed. It could be monumental if it actually does occur. You know.
I mean, as far as disclosure and stuff goes, I mean, it's just, I think that's just such a rabbit hole, and I think disclosure of UFOs is off to the far right,
Mm,
of center, as it were.
mhm,
I mean, like they said, well, you can't handle the truth kind of stuff. Like most of us can handle flying saucers and
mm,
aliens of all walks of life and shapes and sizes, because we've had Star Trek and Star Wars and all that stuff for eons and eons and eons, right? So we've kind of become, at least my generation has become acclimatized to the idea that it was there, whereas my fathers would never have acclimatized. But if
mm,
someone came out and said, hey, guess what? The UFOs you see in the sky, they're just projections, they're not real. And
mm,
everything you are is not real. You're actually asleep in a gigantic spaceship that's holding your essence while we
mhm,
travel a gazillion light years through the cosmos. And in order to keep your essence from going insane, we've plugged you into all these meat bags, and you think that you're living this adventure, but you're
mhm,
not. And then you're going to die, and we're just going to plug you back into another simulation until we get across the cosmos. People would
mhm,
just be like, you mean my kid isn't real? My dog's not real. Like nothing, it's not my house that I paid all this
mm,
mortgage on is not real. I'm
mhm.
telling you, people are not ready for that.
Yeah,
They're just not. They won't. It's not going to happen.
yeah,
So it's
um,
it's a deep hole.
yeah. Well, I mean, will Trump be the president to do it?
He's just the next puppet in a long list of puppets, right?
Mm,
So
yeah,
sorry,
I
it
think
just
so.
is. I mean, the real government's probably 300 people tops worldwide. They own everything. They run
Hmm.
everything.
Hmm.
You don't get into a position of power unless you say, yes, I will play your game.
Hmm.
Just don't.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that. Well, guys, we're at the 90-minute mark, give or take. And
That was quick. Holy cow.
I know it went off. It was pretty quick. It was just a lot of fun information. I was really
Yeah.
happy to be able to get that out there and share it. It was just a lot of fun. Hey, I fell. Um, well, thank you guys for all coming in here and hanging out with us and so on. Uh, so we have more time. What? She say take. So we all still have more time. Well, no. No, we're pretty much yeah, we're pretty much at that point. Hello, thanks guys. Thank you. It was great to just hang out with you all and just to share some of the fun facts, I guess, on New Year's. It's stuff that we don't always think about.
Nope.
How far back and how well rooted it is, and how many incredible things happened on this day. But it's just there's a lot more to it than just the traditional. Thank you, you too, Phil. Than just the traditional commercial stuff that we've come to know and to accept and such. We really delved a little bit deeper and got a little bit more information. So, guys, next week's gonna be a busy week. Okay, let me get to this now. Okay, Monday night. Okay, two real cryptid legends join Daryl Denton, Ron Moorhead, and myself, 10 p.m. Eastern, for an hour of filled fun stuff. You guys are into Bigfoot and Dogman, things like that, cryptids. Get your questions ready. Come on into the chat room, and it's an open mic. We'll have some fun. What's new and coming up for 2026? These guys have a whole lot coming up, and it's a great way to start off the new year, much like what we're doing. Just being able to hang out with you guys. Tuesday, Beyond the Outer Realm, Dr. Christopher Macklin returns, and he'll be talking about his book, Centering the Mind and Healing, and again, consciousness. There's so much coming in. It's going to segue into his next show, which is going to be fabulous. And, definitely will not want to miss this one. Wednesday welcomes a new guest, Dr. Adam Rizvi, a critical care physician, has witnessed countless moments of transition in the ICU that science alone cannot explain. His newest book, Love Does Not Know Death, Stories of Death, Dying, and the Miracles of True Forgiveness. So that's going to be really, really amazing segment. Thursday, also, something and someone new. Sylvain Rochon, one of the founders of the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact, an organization whose goal is to build the world's first United Nations recognized embassy for extraterrestrial civilizations.
Ooh,
Going to be interesting for sure.
that's a big step.
It's a big step. Yeah, it's just big ambitions, and this is the goal. And, we'll see what that's all about. So, anyway, thank you all. Big thank you to Folgers Coffee for sponsoring our show tonight and every show. We appreciate you so very much. Big thanks to Justin Snicker and Steve McGinnis. And we have been broadcasting on the United Public Radio Network 105.3 FM, 107.7 FM. Thank you all for joining us, and we shall see you next Monday night on Two Real Cryptid Legends. Thank
Happy
you.
New Year, everybody.
And good night. Happy New Year.